Hi Crafty Friends, it's Melissa Minor here, and I am super excited to be sharing another process video with you for the Shimmerz Paints Design Team. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make a background page for my layout. Now I am going to be working with the August 2024 Color Kitz, and it is absolutely gorgeous, and it has this whole tropical vibes theme. And I do have an unboxing video that I will leave linked down below in the description box. So the first thing I'm doing here is I'm using my Distress Oxide ink in Peacock Feathers, and I'm completely covering a 12 by 12 sheet of white cardstock. And where I'm going with this is I'm wanting to create something that looks like waves. But to do that, I need this piece to build on. So I have it all inked up. I brought in some water. I sprayed that down, and let me hold this up so you can see. I love how the water spots reflect off of the Distress Oxide ink. All right, now I'm going to start building my waves. So I'm doing a similar process here. I have a sheet of watercolor cardstock, and I'm bringing in the Vibes Love Ocean number 9. Then this came in the Color Kitz this month. And so what I did to mix this is I just turned it upside down and I twisted it in my fingertips, and that just mixes it up. All right, so now that I have it sprayed on the watercolor cardstock, I'm going to take my paintbrush here and just kind of blend it out. I really don't want those like spray marks, and I want to make sure all the white is covered up because I have something in mind that I want to do with this sheet. So I'm going to finish just blending this all in, and then I'm going to bring in my heat tool so that I can heat set this. All right, so here's my heat tool, and I'm just going to completely dry this so that I can go on to the next step of creating these waves. Okay, so now that I have all of that painted and it's dry, I'm bringing in my paper trimmer, and I want to cut this whole sheet into 1.5 by 12-inch strips. So I'll do a couple of these on camera, and then I will continue off camera. All right, with those strips, now I want to tear. So I'm holding the paper and I'm tearing towards me because I want to reveal that white core. And then I'm just going to use my fingertips and just kind of bend this in. And what I'm going for is I want to make some waves. All right, so I've cut one of the sheets from the pattern paper in the kit with the one with the fish. I love that. And I'm using my first 12 by 12 sheet of cardstock that I ink blended with the Peacock Feathers. And now I want to add some glue, and I want to start building my waves. And so I'm going to start at the bottom with some wet adhesive. I'm going to hold that down for just a moment. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to tuck the next wave underneath. Now I'm going to need to bring in a spatula because it's kind of hard to get these underneath here. So let me grab my spatula here, just my Cricut spatula. And that's just going to help me lift this up a little bit so that I can slide the next wave into where it goes here. So I'm going to add a little glue just to hold these corners down, and I'll give that a press. And then I'm going to continue building these waves up the page. So my idea is to put 4 at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one glued down. And isn't this starting to really look like water? And oh, I just love it. I think it's so cool. All right, so off camera, I did glue down the 4th set of waves there. And now I want to add some adhesive to the back of this fish paper. Never fails, my adhesive ran out. I didn't have any refills, so I had to switch brands here. But let me go ahead and tuck this fish paper into place. So I just cut that down a little bit, and I'm going to place this right in the center. And then I want to take a couple of my waves, and I just want to add them to the top because I don't want that white, just like that solid white showing up there. I want to camouflage that just a little bit. So I'm going to add 3 waves. I've got 3 waves left that I tore with my cardstock, so I might as well use them. So I'm going to go ahead and add all 3 to the top up here. So I'll get my Cricut spatula and just tuck another one into place here. Now while I'm adding these waves, I do want to mention that if you place an order on the Shimmerz Paints website, you can place my name, Melissa Minor, leave a note in your order, and they will send you a free gift. And it's usually like a little jar of paint. All right, I'm bringing in the pictures here that I want to scrapbook today. And the one that I have laying down there, that's a picture of my daughter in one of those like little photo stands. I don't know what they're called, but it says Roland Martin's Marina. And this was when we went to visit my mom, and she lives in Florida. And I think Tatum was about 11 when we went. And it was so fun. Tatum drove the golf cart to dinner. And so I just wanted to document this, and it's not very far. It was just like around the corner. But she drove us on the golf cart to Roland Martin's Tiki Bar. All right, the next thing I want to do here is I want to bring back in my Vibes Love Ocean number 9, and I want to make some splatters before I add those photos. So I am using just a little piece of packaging here. I sprayed some of the Love Ocean number 9 on the packaging. I mixed it with a little water, and I'm going to use my spatula here. I just use usually whatever's closest to me. And I'm going to put some tiny splatters down all over my page. So I'm going over the waves, and I'm getting some on the fish paper as well. So I'll continue doing that, building up my background here. And it's kind of hard to see the splatters on the wave portion, but when up close, you can see it in the details. So I love the way that that looks. Now to add some extra interest and dimension, I'm bringing in now from my stash a color splash, and it's called Whites of Their Eyes. And this is a glossy acrylic spray, and I love this for making white splatters. It is the best, and it actually leaves like a little bit of dimension with the splatters because it is that glossy acrylic paint spray. So this is amazing, and I'm going to keep tapping lots of white splatters. And what I'm thinking that this looks like is, you know, when you're out in the ocean and you've kind of got like the waves. All right, so I'm also bringing in a cut file, and this is from Pear Tree Cut Files, and it's called Catch of the Day. And I went ahead and backed this using one of the pattern papers that came in the Color Kits this month. I used the paper that says Catch of the Day. Excuse me, I used the paper that had the little orange and sunshines on it. Now, off camera, I do go in and snip a little portion of that D out, but you won't see it in the video. You'll see it in my close-up shots, though, because the little net, it's going through the D, and I accidentally covered that, and it should have been with the white. So I do go in later and fix that. All right, now I'm adding my photos, and I'm going to end up adding a little bit of foam here to the back, and this is just some foam I got off of Amazon, some craft foam. And that little picture there is Tatum. And then there's this one on the right is her driving the golf cart, because that was an important part of our story. So I'm going to add some glue on the back of here. It was such a fun day. All right, and I love the way that cut file just really pops with those bright colors. All the papers in the color kits this month are just so bright and vibrant. They're beautiful. All right, so now I want to build an embellishment cluster. I have this little tag, and it has Tatum drove us on the golf cart to Roland Martin's Tiki Bar, and I added a little bit of ribbon from my stash. And now I'm adding some of the pre-cut ephemera that comes in the kit. So I am bringing in a little fish and a little shell. And then I'm going to end up adding another shell, and I think another fish and a seahorse down here. So I'm just building this cluster up to give some weight down here. Now off camera, I did go into my stamps. I have a huge stamp collection and I wanted to use some of those. So I stamped a little sentiment that says, "Remember this moment." And then I used mustard seed distress oxide to go over that. Oh, I forgot to mention, on my Catch of the Day cut file, I did go over that also with the mustard seed distress oxide ink. All right, now I'm adding in a few clear gems from my stash, and I think this looks just like water. And there we go. Off camera, I added the little ephemera piece with the palm trees. And so I think that looks super cute. And let's see, I'm going to add a couple. I think I'm done here, but then I do end up going in and adding a few more pieces of ephemera, another fish, and the seahorse down here. But that is it. If you've enjoyed this video, I hope you will give me a thumbs up. And I love reading your comments, so if you choose to leave a comment, I will definitely respond back to you. And if you're not already a subscriber, I hope you'll subscribe and come back and watch more videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!